Hello there, you chuckle fucks. It's your boy, Dark Raku here with What If Issei was a part of the Sano family. So yes, this is part 2 of this What If. Now, I should explain one thing today that just happened. So, of course, I did record like a video this morning. I was half asleep most of the time. I don't want to take too long, but mostly after kind of going to pick up my siblings, going to go pizza, and then taking a fucking nap, and then having to go somewhere, I almost got killed. Straight up got almost killed. What I mean about this is like, I almost got hit by a speeding car. Luckily, the speeding car managed to turn fast enough, but still hit the rear, mostly not the rear, mostly the front of my car. Of course, it was the fucking, I guess you can call it the best wake-up call because I was still half asleep during that time. But of course, I think it was a good thing that I was half asleep because my mind didn't process what the fuck happened until I just like stopped, until like the car like bumped in. My eyes were like wide as like a deer headlights when like a deer's mostly sitting in the road and other things, and like you're speeding and the deer just popped out of nowhere. Yeah. Mostly, I was like that. I was confused for a second. I was like, what the fuck happened? Until I noticed, me and my dad noticed because my dad was next to me. Most of the car smashes into another car, mostly being a truck. And of course, mostly that black car, mostly the one that hit me, kind of almost hit me, was all fucked up. It was mostly, his car was mostly fucked up. My car was kind of good. It got scratches and not that many dents or anything. Of course, the red truck just decided to go put some gas and decide to dip. They didn't really care about their truck getting damaged or anything. Probably because they said something about like they have something about like already getting in trouble with the cops, and they didn't want to get in trouble more with the cops, so they just dipped. But yeah. Of course, that shit was all happening. It was crazy. I was still half asleep, but I woke my ass up. But yeah, sorry for rambling on, but that was just crazy. I almost died. But I shouldn't be laughing. I straight up really don't like this fucking world, because straight up everyone is like, what the fuck? But not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up, and let me just begin before I fall asleep entirely, because I was already tired. And I am already feeling more tired since the fact of, how should I say, my room is hot as hell because, well, my air conditioner doesn't work and other things, so yeah. So let me begin. So we go into mostly Issei Hiro, or mostly, not Issei Hiro, but mostly Issei. Issei is right now kind of in a kind of biker shop, well, mostly abandoned biker shop, but since it's abandoned, not many people will kind of look at this biker mostly shop, but yeah. This is where, well, he's kind of designing his clothes. It took him one day, but yeah, he's pretty good at designing clothes. And this is where, well, he came up with the ideas for having what's called black clothing, but having it kind of have some like golden lines, similar to that of his older brother when he was wearing his own kind of uniform, his like Black Dragon uniform. But of course, having some red and orange into the uniform that he has. And it kind of has, what's it called, two letters behind him. That's one C and the other is D. So, well, mostly it's DCD. So, of course, that just spells out Dark Crimson Dragon. So, yeah. That's what Issei kind of customized his kind of mostly outfit to be. This is where, well, mostly, what's it called? Issei also kind of goes on to kind of like put somewhat like a dragon, well, not dragon symbol, mostly this like fire inferno colors into mostly the jackets to kind of be like mostly at the bottom of like the coat, but yeah, near the bottom of the coat. Of course, it's like crimson fire mostly. This is where, well, he does also kind of put like some with a dragon kind of like clutching onto the letters, but yeah. This is where, well, like the mostly the crimson red dragon is kind of like roaring, but yeah. This is where, well, the wings itself kind of like spreads into like the mostly like shoulder, mostly not shoulder, yeah, well the shoulder of like the coat, but yeah, this will work well. Issei just kind of designed this just so it kind of looks kind of badass, but at the same time, just a respect for mostly his brother's design of his like own. But yeah, but does it work well? Issei kind of just grins. Does it work well? Issei kind of also puts on a silver chain that mostly was like his own from his brothers. But the silver chain doesn't just looks like a normal silver chain. It does have this like little kind of like mostly gem in the middle of like the silver chain, and it looks like this mostly. So I had this, but mostly it was like a black dragon. Mostly the color was black dragon, some being silver, but yeah. Of course, when Issei kind of picked it up, mostly where he kind of found it, it was on a kind of like chest that mostly his brother told him that since mostly he's no longer in mostly this group. This is where Issei remembers something that his brother told him. His brother mostly is none other than someone that was, well, mostly the person that he looked up to. But of course, this is where, well, his brother told him, well, oldest brother kind of told him that this necklace was mostly a part of the group that he kind of made a long time ago. Mostly a biker gang group. Now, of course, the group was called Black Dragon. Of course, this kind of necklace, had a black dragon, and this is where he didn't also talk about that mostly the eyes of the black dragon were kind of red, like crimson red, and other things like gem of like a ruby red and other things. And this is where, well, mostly his brother kind of rambled on that the dragon itself changes colors of the user who actually has mostly probably a pulse of, well, impulse or something like rage or any of that, and it just changes. This is where Issei thinks that his brother was just crazy half the time, which mostly his brother never did give him a necklace, but just told him one day if ever Issei wants to join doing this or doing that, he will then give him the necklace. But yeah, this is where Issei kind of grabbed the necklace. Of course, the silver chain for some reason kind of glowed with a little bit of crimsonish, darkish red. Of course, the dragon itself changes from a black color towards a dark red, and the eyes were actually green, like a dark green, mostly of showing off his actual true color of his eyes. But it was mostly a dark green with actually a lightish, palish pink, purplish color. This is where the other eye. Issei was confused and shocked to actually see mostly the dragon change. This is where, well, he was actually shocked, but he decides not to question it too much, and of course just puts it on, and decides to just kind of kiss the kind of necklace and says, "Brother, protect me when I'm going to do this. I know you don't want me to do this, but I have to." This is where, well, Issei puts on the coat, and of course this is where he kind of buttons it up, and this is where, well, he kind of just starts walking out of the kind of biker, well, mostly, yeah, biker kind of like biker shop that was already abandoned. This is where, well, or it was kind of abandoned. There was actually secret places for him to go, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of says, "Well, it's time for my journey. I will find you, Kazutora, and your death is mine." This is where, well, or your life is mine, but yeah. This is where Issei kind of runs off to kind of go find information, but yeah. The first person he's coming to talk to is Old Man Rayleigh, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei kind of meeting up with Old Man Rayleigh at the shop. Before kind of going into the shop, this is where he saw kind of a robbery of some mostly mostly the same people with the kind of like symbol of like an angel but headless. But yeah, this is where, well, they were kind of trying to rob the shop. Of course, Rayleigh didn't really care. He like really didn't care about the person with the knife. Right now, kind of swinging it around, saying, "If you don't give us the money, old man, we will cut you." This is where Issei kind of walks in, kind of opens the door, and this is where, well, the people in the shop say, "Huh? Who the hell are you? Get the hell out of here." This is where, well, Issei noticed the person with the knife, and of course noticed that there was 5 people in total here. Of course, Issei didn't care. Issei ran up to the guy with the knife, grabbing his hand, breaking it, grabbing the knife out of his hand, and of course stabbing this guy right in the kind of like stomach. This is where, well, missing organs entirely on purpose. Of course, the guy coughed up some blood, but this is where Issei kind of grabs his face and smashes him down to the ground. The other 4 tried to rush at Issei, but this is where Issei kind of kicked one well, mostly uses his leg, kind of kicking him in the back of the head, smashing him to the ground. Another guy tried to attack Issei, but this is where Issei then punches him in the face. The last one tries to attack Issei, but this is where Issei kind of uppercut him right in the face. And then the last one tries to run away, but this is where Issei grabbed like this cane that was like right next to the door, throws it straight towards the guy in the back of the head, smashing into that guy, knocking him out. This is where Issei's a quite pathetic idiot. This is where, well, the person chuckles seeing Issei kind of do all that, mostly the old man named Rayleigh. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, "Hey, old man, you okay? You didn't die, you didn't have a heart attack a while ago, didn't you?" This is where, well, old man Rayleigh says, "Oh, shut the hell up, brat. It's nice to see you. A nice outfit that you have there. Kind of looks like your brother's, doesn't it?" This is where Issei kind of chuckles and says, "Yeah, it does." This is where, well, Rayleigh also noticed the necklace that Issei has, and chuckles and seeing how mostly the different colors it is from mostly the original of mostly his brothers. This is where, well, mostly Rayleigh then chuckles and saying, "Not gonna lie, you do look like your brothers. Well, mostly your brother's younger self." This is where, well, Issei says, "What do you mean?" "Except for the whole hairstyle, you kind of do look like your brother a lot. You really do look like him a lot." This is where, well, mostly an old image appears, mostly over, mostly Issei, well, ghostly image that Rayleigh kind of looks at. And this is where, well, there's actually someone smiling in front of him that kind of looks, well, mostly Issei's confused, but this is where someone over him is kind of smiling. And of course, this is where, well, the person has kind of short black hair. His eyes are kind of just like darkish black. Of course, this is where, well, he's smiling, or mostly smirking. This is where, well, he has a black coat mostly behind him that kind of has the symbol of mostly saying Black Dragon. But yeah, and of course a Black Dragon behind that symbol and other things. Of course, this is where, well, the Black Dragon is kind of holding into the letters, don't worry about that. This is where, well, well, instead of being kind of Black Dragon, it was kind of Gold Dragon, but don't worry about that. This is where, well, the, what's it called, a person had a white shirt. Of course, having the same necklace that Issei's holding right now, or mostly having it in his neck, but of course being a different color. And of course, where, well, this person had black pants, and of course the belt. Well, a brownish belt, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, "Hey, old man, you okay? Did you have a stroke?" This is where, well, mostly Rayleigh says, "Oh, shut the hell up, brat. I'm just remembering about the past. Good old times." This is where, well, Issei says, "Okay, man. I just came here to talk to you about mostly information I want. You want to know where Kazutora's at?" Issei says, "Of course I do. I want to know where he's at." Rayleigh sighs and says, "So you already chosen your destiny, didn't you? You chosen that you actually want to kill him. Are you sure you want to do this, Issei?" This is where, well, Issei says, "I'm determined to do it. I'm determined to finally let my brothers restful, more peace, or mostly, yeah, go, well, go to sleep much easier than seeing a murderer still running around." "Uh-huh. Okay, whatever, brat. Fine, I'll tell you where Kazutora's at. You see those guys that you just knocked out, right?" Mr. Issei says, "Yeah. Well, Kazutora is supposed to be one of the leaders of this gang. The gang that you just kicked the shit of was called Headless Angels, also known as Valhalla. Now, Kazutora, I think, should be third in command of what's it called, Valhalla. I don't know, probably third in command. If I can remember right, there's other gangs coming in, kind of talking about Valhalla. There's two other commanders. They're probably weaker than what's it called, Kazutora, I can't tell. Of course, there's also someone who's the second in command, but isn't supposed to be the leader of what's it called, Valhalla, because Valhalla, temporary ghostly leader, is not there, or what he is, he's just, it's kind of confusing. No one can really tell which one is Valhalla's leader. But of course, the second in command is supposed to be the temporary commander, or whatever leader. His name is Hanma Shinjo, or whatever. He is supposed to be called the zombie. Mostly the zombie because he literally won't fucking get knocked out. He won't die. So yeah. Kazutora is just called something crazy psychopath. I don't remember what he was called, but yeah. And the other two are just non-pointless because you can probably easily knock them out. Or probably kill them with one punch. Don't know how strong you have gotten. Issei-kun. Doesn't work well. Issei chuckles and says, that is true. I see. So these weaklings right here are mostly a part of Kazutora's kind of group. Well, maybe. I mean, you can say all Valhalla members are pretty much connected with Kazutora. Those perks are just annoying. Now, I think they also are aligned with something called Mobius. This is where it says, right, Mobius. Oh, yeah, I heard of that gang. Isn't that gang just not a small gang, but just a prickish gang of nothing but weaklings? Yep, none of them are stronger. The leader itself, was it called Okisa or whatever his name was again? Yeah, he's completely a weakling dumbass who doesn't know anything. Let's see. And if they're connected to mostly Valhalla, and Valhalla's connected to Kazutora, then I guess I'll take them all out. What are you, fucking Batman? No, I'm not Batman, I'm Vengeance. Doesn't work well. Mostly Rayleigh chuckles and says, you just copied that from Batman. Doesn't work well, he says, maybe. But that's not the point. I guess that's all the information you have, don't you? No, I have some couple more information, but I want to know, are you really going to go fight against Valhalla by yourself? Valhalla and Mobius and also Kazutora by yourself? You're not going to bring anyone with you? None of your friends, family, or anyone with you? Issei said, hell no, I'll do this by myself. Doesn't work well. Mostly Rayleigh chuckles and says, well, you really are a lone, I would say lone wolf, but mostly like a lone dragon. Issei chuckles and says, I guess you can say that. Well, other than that, I'll decide to kind of help you out, kid. Doesn't work well, Issei says, what do you mean? I'll help you out with some supplies you will need, like a motorcycle and some other things, cause you can't just be a solo gangster member, leader, running around without a motorcycle. You gotta look badass when you're riding into battle with style. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, I guess you're right. This is where, well, we go into mostly Rayleigh kind of closing up the shop, locking the doors, and of course going to the back. This is where Issei follows. Of course, this is where, well, Issei does have a bottle of water because, yeah, he was kind of thirsty. But yeah, when they get to the back, it's mostly a garage. And this is where, well, Rayleigh kind of takes off the covers and shows off this motorcycle. Now, this is where, well, the motorcycle looks like this. So this is what the motorcycle actually appears. Of course, this is where, well, it kind of has like red rims and other things. And yeah, of course, the red kind of does have, mostly the red right here kind of has like a dragon appearing. Of course, it lights up in the dark and other stuff, but yeah. And this is where Issei says, holy fuck. Rayleigh. This is where Issei said. Rayleigh chuckles and sees Issei's just shocked and actually amazed look on his face. And this is where Rayleigh says, so, how is it? This is where, well, Issei said, I'm just lost by words. Yeah, it's mostly used to be like this old motorcycle, mostly somewhere in the late 19th, that I decided to got one time. And I know your brother loved the motorcycle that I had. Of course, he wanted to kind of fix it up and for me and other stuff. But when your brother kind of passed away, I decided to fix it up for him. And of course, I decided to go with the red color. I don't know why, but I just decided to go with the red color. Of course, the headlights are kind of green and lightish pink. Mostly thanks to your eye color, but yeah. So why aren't you showing off your real eye color and your brownish, well, true hair color? Issei says, well, I thought I would just have to just leave it on for a second. I don't really have a way to kind of remove the dye, unless I want to go bleach, but yeah. Isn't there hair remove dye? I guess you can say something like that. Why don't you just remove your eye lenses then? I'll keep them like this. Okay, kid, whatever. But yeah, I kind of went like that. This is where, well, Issei said, not gonna lie, this motorcycle looks sick as fuck. How fast can it go? 270 miles. What the when that's the max speed, but yeah. It probably go a little bit higher. I don't know how much I actually put in up some horsepower. I put a lot of fucking horsepower into this shit. So it goes pretty fast. So don't crash it, kid. Because this shit just, like, cost me almost half my whole life. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, I won't, man. I won't. You don't need to complain about this. I'm amazed. This motorcycle looks fucking sick as hell. There's also some stuff that I added, mostly like safety measures. And what is that? So if anyone touches it without the key, they will get electricity. Wait, what? Is that an actual thing? Yeah, this is where it really says, I'm holding the key, I'm gonna walk over here, and you touch a motorcycle. Okay. Ow! Fuck! Ow! My hand! Why the fuck does it feel numb as hell now? Told you, kid. It would shock you with so much lightning that it would probably numb your hand. Okay, damn. Damn, that's actually quite powerful. There's also some secret components into the mostly motorcycle where you can actually hide weapons. Like knives, guns, probably an AK-47. This is where, well, he says, hold the fuck up, what? Probably like a katana, samurai sword, whatever. This is where, well, he says, hold up, man, what is this motorcycle? What the hell did you make? Am I literally going to be fucking a hitman? Am I going to be, what's it called, James Bond? What the hell am I going to be doing with this motorcycle? I'm just kidding, kid. But there are secret components. But I'm just saying, just in case anything happens, you don't know what these gangsters are going to be doing. Some of them already have weapons. They don't really care that much. He says, I guess you're right. This is where, well, he says, still, this motorcycle looks sick as hell. Can I go test it out for a second? Hey kid, it's yours anyway. This is where it really throws the keys, and this is where you can actually catch it. And this is where Issei chuckles and says, okay, so where's the helmet? Let me go get it. This is where, well, Issei says, okay, why do you look kind of sweat dropping? Well, kind of went on really with the design of the helmet. What are you going on with the design of the helmet? So this is the one that mostly Rayleigh brought. Now he brought 3 of them, but mostly this is one of them. And the other 2 is basically mostly, well, kind of shocking towards Issei because Issei sees 3 of them. The first one was that one, like a regular kind of design of like a dragon on top of it, being crimson red. Of course, where it was black. Of course, it does kind of knee up like lights a little bit on it, but yeah. Of course, that's not the point. The other one was basically a helmet of, what's it called, something that he remembered watching with his brother a long time ago. And that was none other than, what's it called, they do watch like Batman and other stuff. And that's why he was talking about reference like that. But of course, he remembers seeing this red helmet on a person that was mostly one of the children of Batman. And that was none other than Jason Tom? Is it Jason Tom? I don't remember. The one with the red helmet being, what's it called? Is it Deathstroke? No, not Deathstroke. Red Hood. So of course, where Issei saw the fucking red helmet, said, wait the fuck a minute. And then the last one was actually like a red dragon helmet. Like if he was in like the medieval kind of century. Like some of those RPG games. And this is where Issei says, hold the fuck up. What the fuck, old man? The hell, how much time did you have on your fucking, like, life? This is where Rayleigh says, I had a lot. So pick one of them. Issei says, oh, damn. I might use that, what's it called, Red Hood kind of helmet. Just maybe if I have to go stealthy and beat the shit out of people. That is true. What about the helmet over here? Is it bulletproof or something? This is where, well, Issei asked for the helmet. No, but it does have protection, like lightning and other stuff in it. What am I, Iron Man? I mean, I can always go make an Iron Man one. No, it's fine. But I'll take the regular basic kind of just motorcycle helmet. I'm not trying to just stand out. I mean, you're gonna stand out one way or not, or another. Issei says, yeah, I know. This is where, well, Issei kind of like puts the helmet on. This is where the garage opens, and this is where Issei kind of just like turns on the motorcycle. It ramps up. This is where, well, this is where, well, Issei says, well, see, old man, I'm gonna go look around to see if Valhalla. Wait, is Valhalla around here anyway? There's a lot of Valhalla members. Yes, they are. Well, I'm gonna start one way or another. Well, see you, man. This is where, well, Rayleigh says, don't scratch your motorcycle. I'm not gonna go pay for it. This is where, well, he says just leaves, going, just speeding up really fast. This is where traffic and what's it called, Shimbo City. It's not that bad. Well, Shino City, but bleh, I can't fucking say the fucking city name. So Shiuba City. So yeah. It's not that bad of a traffic. So, of course, he's, like, driving. And, of course, like, turning right, left, and, of course, managing to slip through cars. But, yeah. And he's speeding up pretty fast. This is where, well, Issei is right now just kind of speeding. This is where Issei says, this shit's so fucking fun. He remembers mostly a flashback of mostly him and his brother kind of like riding a motorcycle before. And of course, his brother kind of did tell, what's it called, mostly Issei to hold on. And of course, they were speeding like the same, well, mostly the same speed as what Issei is doing right now. This is where, well, Issei is saying, this shit's so fun. It does give me flashback of mostly memories. I will definitely get my revenge, Kazutara, but not right now. I'm having a little bit, way too much fun. This is where, well, he says, this is where, well, he kind of passed by some of his, well, like, well, he passed by two kind of perverts that just got their ass kind of out of the hospital because they literally got their ass beat because they literally kind of walked into an old base of Black Dragon territory. So yeah, and a bunch of other perverts were like next to them saying, that motherfucker! Issei, you son of a bitch! This is where, well, both Murama and Matsui say, traitor. This is where, well, they almost get hit by a motorcycle. A guy that was riding a red motorcycle with a red helmet with a dragon. And of course, this is where, well, having a kind of, mostly coat kind of flying into the wind. Of course, this is where, well, Matsui Murahama says, hey, watch out, asshole! This is where Issei flips him off and says, shut the fuck up, assholes. So yeah, Issei didn't really care if he even hit Matsui Murahama. He didn't really care at all. This is where, well, Issei is right now driving around. This is where, well, he's going to, what's it called, mostly any Valhalla members that he sees in the street. And he won't care that much because he will hit them with the motorcycle, probably. He probably would do a taiju if I can remember right. I think taiju did ram a motorcycle into someone. This is where, well, but not the point. Issei is right now driving around, speeding up. Of course, it worked well. He sees what's it called, some people kind of wearing the Valhalla like flat jacket. And of course, it worked well. They're trying to bully someone while trying to get some money from this person. This is where, well, Issei stops a motorcycle. And this is where one Valhalla member says, hey, get the hell. And this is where before he even gets to say anything, he gets his face right now grabbed and smashed to the ground. The other Valhalla members tried to attack Issei, but this is where Issei literally took them out so easily by kicking one guy in the head and smashing that guy's head into the other guy. And this is where one of them tries to attack him. This is where Issei grabs his arm, flip him over, and then smash him into, mostly smash a kick into his stomach. The guy got knocked out so easily. But yeah, he's gargling up right now. This is where, well, Issei's still kind of just driving. This is where, well, he didn't just keep driving. This is where, well, he took out the Valhalla members. And this is where, well, Issei was about to get on his motorcycle until the person kind of like thanked him. And of course, this is where, well, Issei noticed it's actually a girl from Ashikuo. And this is where Issei says, what are you doing here? This is where, well, he says their name. And this is where their name is what they call. This is where, well, he says, what are you doing here, Rainer? This is where, well, mostly the girl seems quite shocked. And this is where, well, mostly she does go to Koa Academy. And this is where, well, she's actually second year for mostly Issei's class. And this is where the girl was like, how do you know my name? This is where, well, Issei takes off his helmet and, of course, shows off his dark brown hair. And, of course, his goldenish brown eyes. And this is where Issei says, I don't like revealing myself to anyone. But the most likely case for you, if you tell anyone, they probably won't believe shit, anything, anytime. This is where, well, mostly Rainer was shocked to see Issei right now looking like a complete badass. Of course, his dark brown hair doesn't really match up with his, like, golden brown eyes and wearing all that, but still, he looks like a complete badass in the, what's it called, outfit. This is where, well, mostly Rainer kind of blushes a little bit seeing Issei, and this is where Issei said, what are you actually doing here? Don't you remember me saying that this is gangster territory? This is where Rainer says, it's not my fault that those bastards tried to. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at this and says, oh, I see. Well, you don't need to worry. I'm going to be taking out Valhalla with me later on, but whatever. What do you mean, with you? Oh, you don't need to worry your little head, Rainer. All you gotta do is stay with your freaking friends, or with anyone, in that matters of, well, mostly Kuo, and get out of my way when I'm actually taking out Valhalla. This is where, well, Rainer says, wait, you say stay with anyone. So does that mean do I have to stay with you? Oh, I'm sorry to mention this, but I'm no longer with Kuo. That means that I am not really a part of Kuo's, how should I say, Kuo High. And I still gotta tell Sona that I'm actually going to be dropping out. This is where, well, Rainer winds her eyes and says, what? This is where she screams out really loud, and this is where, well, he says, ow, that hurts my ears. What the hell? Shut up for a second. This is where, well, Rainer was just dumbfounded and said, sorry. What? Are you crazy? Are you seriously going to just drop out? This is where, well, Issei says, of course, that's what I just said. I mean, you can always tell Sona that. Please tell her that, because I don't really want to go looking for her and trying to tell her that I'm actually going to be dropping out. All that I really want to say is that I'm going to be dropping out. No one's stopping me. And I'm going to finish my, well, goal and mostly dreams. Or mostly just goal. Somewhat dreams. It doesn't matter what I'm going to be doing. But yeah. This is where Rainer wanted to actually stop Issei. But this is where Issei turns on his motorcycle. And Issei says, well, see ya. Issei puts back on his helmet. This is where he drives off pretty fast. This is where, well, Rainer was just dumbfounded. Dust actually appear, of course. This is where she coughed into the mostly dust from the dust, and this is where she said, "Screw you, bastard!" This is where she then shuts up for a second and says, "That idiot." This is where, well, she kind of clenches her fist because she doesn't hate Issei, even though Issei is supposed to be one of the trio of perverts, because he's actually completely nice and actually never did take anyone, well, mostly take advantage of anyone. He's just completely nice. This Issei, on the other hand, is a complete badass. He took out 4 guys, 4 supposedly stronger guys than Issei, but Issei knocked them all out pretty easily. He's looking like a complete different badass. Well, entirely. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei's right now driving. This is where, well, he sees the street. He sees mostly like 5 bullies, or yeah, 5 bullies. The older looking guy, well, mostly the tallest looking guy is a 3rd year, and the guy who got his ass beat right now is grumbling, saying, I'm going to beat the shit out of that guy. Issei, he's so going to be screwed when I get my hands in him. Well, hands on him. This is where, well, the others are kind of saying, yeah, that is true. 2 of the girls that are there in that group saying, yep. Yeah, that is true. That guy, damn, I never expected him to actually manage to manipulate 2, what's it called, gangsters. This is where, well, the older looking guy, his name is Don. And this is where, well, not Don, just Don. And the guy who got beaten up by gangsters. This is where Don says, I'm gonna find him, I'm gonna kick his ass. This is where, well, they hear like a motorcycle. And Issei didn't honk at them at all, even a single time. And he sees the bigger guy named Don. And this is where Issei's, right now kind of like takes off his motorcycle for mostly motorcycle helmet for a second. This is where he puts it in the back. And this is where, well, Issei says, yo, Don, look over here. Don turns around and says, what the? He gets hit by the motorcycle without a care in the world. This is where, well, when I've been on a motorcycle, this is where Issei literally just punch him right in the face. Did not care. This is where, well, Issei says, suck on that, motherfucker. That's literally called a sucker punch, drive-by, asshole. Next time you fucking piss me off, I'll fucking grab a metal pipe and break your fucking head into it. This is where, well, Don was knocked out, but yeah, Issei doesn't like Don at all. He doesn't like any of the bullies. And this is where Issei then turns around, and this is where Issei kind of was wondering, what kind of secret compartments are in, what's it called, the motorcycle. So Issei kind of tap on the motorcycle, and this is where Issei finds he finds a Glock 17, and Issei pulls that shit out and says, what the fuck you guys looking at? You guys want to die? This is where the other bullies right now look at horrified seeing Issei. It's like mostly a psychotic grin. But Issei is just doing this just to kind of make the fucking bullies literally piss himself and run away. Which, that happens. Mostly the other guy, friends, and mostly Don, pick up Don and start running like fucking hell. Sir Issei's saying, boo, aren't you 2 girls gonna leave? Nah. This is where, well, Issei kind of just sticked his tongue in just to be a prick about it, but yeah. This is where both of the girls kind of blush in an instant. And this is where Issei notices and says, why are you 2 blushing? Oh god. Don't tell me I accidentally turned you on and didn't actually scare you. This is where both of them say, no, you didn't turn us on. This is where, well, Issei says, then why are you blushing? And this is where, well, Issei says, why are you dripping? Unless you accidentally pee yourself, I doubt that, because that isn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. This is where, well, both of them looks down, and this is where their legs are kind of just like rubbing each other, and this is where, well, mostly they realize what they just did, and this is where, well, they just kind of turn crimson red, and this is where, well, Issei says, whatever, not my fault. This is where Issei kind of like checks on the Glock just to make sure there's no ammo. This is where he kind of loads it back, and this is where, well, he kind of just clocks it back to see if there's ammo, and there's absolute ammo in it. This is where Issei's chuckling, saying, "Really?" This is where Issei thinks to himself and says, "Really, you son of a bitch? You literally actually gave me fucking live ammo, actually fucking a live gun." And I feel like you probably put an AK-47 into this fucking motorcycle now that I think about it. Because you did mention a lot of random shit. Well, other than that, Issei puts a Glock back into what's it called, a kind of hidden mostly hidden thing. And this is where, well, Issei then taps on the motorcycle and just goes back to normal. This is where Issei kind of puts back on his helmet and just drives off. But yeah, Issei did not care punching Don. It feels so fucking nice punching Don in the face so hard doing a drive-by. He knows that it's a fucking cheap shot, but goddamn, it felt so good punching the shit out of Don. The fucking bones in his face crack into his like mostly fist. And of course it didn't hurt his fist, but it was funny as hell. He didn't care. This is where, well, he would have enjoyed having a metal pipe with him just to smash it into Don, but he didn't have it, so sad. But not the point. This is where Issei kind of just drives off pretty fast, and this is where he's leaving both the girls back, well, mostly behind in his dust. Of course, the two girls kind of, their appearance, mostly one has kind of darkish blue hair, silverish eyes, and the other one has kind of orangey red hair, and of course, like kind of emberish color eyes. This is where, well, they're kind of a little bit turned on from the fact that Issei was looking like a complete badass instead of a nice person or just a pervert or whatever. But yeah, this is where, well, they are turned on and a little bit scared of Issei, but yeah. Now, of course, they know if they tell anyone, it's probably not going to be believed. So yeah, Issei doesn't mind actually bullying the shit out of the bullies because he knows that even if they tell someone, who's going to believe them? Like, they're gonna think they're fucking crazy because Issei is supposed to be a nice person. He's a nice pervert, gentleman person, not a fucking gangster. He isn't going to literally hurt anyone. There's no way in hell people will believe them. Well, slightly, but yeah. But other than that, we go into Issei kind of driving off. This is where Issei gets into mostly a territory that he managed to kind of find by kind of going into somewhat of a bar, drinking mostly some water, and hearing out that Valhalla is in a certain territory. This is where, well, Issei goes to this Valhalla place, and of course, it's kind of it's mostly lead by one of the vice commanders of Valhalla. And of course, this guy with kind of like blackish kind of, well, not blackish hair, mostly this person has kind of a yellowish hair tint of, well, mostly dyed hair color. Of course, it's not Kazutora, but it's mostly a vice captain for like the 5th rank captain, or 5th kind of captain of, well, not 5th captain, 5th commander, but yeah. This is where, well, the person is kind of eating chips. He's like pretty fat and bulky, and this is where, well, the guy is kind of having like this underground fighting arena with Valhalla members, and of course like these other people that are from different schools kind of fighting on their kind of, not free will, mostly against their free will, but yeah. Issei noticed some of them kind of being with like Kuo members, so that's where it's just like, god damn it, Kuo students are really stupid as hell. This is where, well, some of the Kuo students that he noticed are kind of from the football squad or soccer squad and yada yada. Some of the other students are from different, what's it called, schools, but yeah. Issei says, whatever. This is where, well, Issei is right now walking into this place, and this is where, well, 2 Valhalla members did try to stop him, but this is where Issei grabbed both of their heads and smashed them to the fucking, well, both together, literally clapped their heads together like if he was like having 2, what's it called, drums or whatever. Or not drums, 2, what's it called, bricks together or whatever. He didn't really care if he cracked their heads on accident or not. Is alright, well, Issei walks through this kind of like place and kind of getting mostly in. This is where Issei sees that there's music, there's stuff and whatever. Issei doesn't care. He literally doesn't care. Issei kind of starts kind of easily knocking out people, slowly but surely, kind of knocking them out by kind of hitting them in the back of the head, smashing people. People are too kind of focused on the fight, so of course, no one's noticing that Issei's taking a lot of people out behind them. But of course, Issei is also going to the exits and locking people out from actually escaping Issei. So yeah. Issei then goes down and sees what's it called, the vice kind of captain what's it called, Valhalla, and this is where the 5th rank. And this is where the guy Boki kind of sees the cool student. It's mostly a football player. Of course, this football player is already really tired, and he did have to beat the shit out of his friends. And this is where, well, the Valhalla leader says, it seems that you managed to beat your friend up. Well, it's too much of a shame. I'll be taking your girl later. This is where, well, mostly the football guy says, you bastard. This is where, well, mostly the Valhalla leader says, well, it's time for me to kill you and then take your girl. Or should I do it right in front of you? This is where he snaps his fingers, and this is where people kind of appear behind him because there was mostly an exit or entrance behind him appearing. This is where, well, they have mostly this guy's like girlfriend. Of course, this is where, well, they also got another girl, and that was the other guy's girlfriend, but yeah. This is where, well, the older bulky guy says, well, it's time for me to have some fun with them. This is where, well, before anything happens, mostly someone runs up to him, mostly running past the football guy, and the football guy didn't even notice what the hell happened. Issei jumped in an instant. Think of Mikey when Mikey was younger, and this is where, well, Issei literally landed a kick upon this guy, knocking him out in an instant. This is where Issei then landed, well, mostly did a flip in midair when he kicked this guy, and of course landed back to the same spot next to the football guy. And this is where, well, Issei says, quite pathetic. I guess that guy was easier to knock out. The guy was already kind of knocked out, passed the fuck out. He was big and other things, no. That kick knocked him the fuck out. This is where, well, he says, but he was quite pathetic. This is where Issei turns around and says, oh, if it isn't John, or Jin, or not John, Jin. This is where, well, he calls this guy, Shin. This is where, well, he says, oh, if it isn't Shin. This is where, well, Shin turns around and says, Issei. This is where, well, Issei says, don't worry, buddy. You can get your girlfriend and your friend out of here. Just kind of through that entrance exits. Besides, anyone that was over there, I kind of did knock down after a while. But that's not the point. You can still fight, right? This is where Shin nodded. Issei says, good. Now move out of the way. Issei runs up to the guys that were actually holding the girls. And this is where Issei punches one guy in the face. Then kind of jumps over from punching this guy by kind of like flipping over this guy's body and kicking the other guy in the face. This is where, well, both of them gets knocked down in an instant. The girls are kind of struggling, of course, shaking. Of course, they have blindfolds and they were just scared. They were also tied. This is where, well, Issei kind of throws, mostly cuts their kind of like, mostly, what's it called, like, ropes off of them, and also takes off their kind of like blindfolds. And this is where they get scared seeing Issei, and Issei says, yo, Shin, get your friend and get your girlfriends out of here. This is where Shin nodded, and this is where, well, he sees the entrance or mostly exit. And this is where, well, mostly Shin tells his friend to get up or mostly drag him, but yeah, and this is telling the girls to kind of follow him. And this is where the girls notice Issei, and Issei says, bye bye. Now fuck off already. This is where, well, Issei turns around to see a bunch of Valhalla members rushing towards Issei. Issei said, I'm going to kill you son of a bitches. I'm going to rip you apart, and I'm going to make sure you tell me where the fuck Kazutora's at. Issei said it's kind of whisperly but very dark and menacing. This is where, well, a bunch of Valhalla members say, die! This is where, well, Issei said, me? Die? That's not happening. You people will be the ones who die. We go into 30 minutes later, and this is where Issei is right now kind of sweating. Of course, this is where, well, he's a little bit hurt. There's a little bit of blood falling down from his cheek, or mostly from his like mouth. And this is where, well, Issei's clothes is kind of rough up, but not really cut or any of that. But there's a lot of, literally a lot of members right now down on the ground. A lot of Valhalla members. This is where the big bulky guy managed to get up and say, oh, what the hell happened? Issei managed to get on top of him, and this is where Issei punches him in the face, saying, hey, bastard, tell me where the hell Kazutora is at, or I'll break your fucking head in right now, and I don't care if I kill you. This is where, well, the guy is, who are you? Kazutora? I don't know what you're... This is where Issei punches him again. Tell me where he's at, or I'll break your fucking face in. Actually, tell me where your other fucking gang bases are at, so I can fucking kill them also. This is where, well, the bulky guy says, go to hell. This is where, well, he says, wrong answer, tell me now. This is where the guy, he couldn't resist any more punches, and he really didn't want to die. So he told Issei about another place of Valhalla, mostly the Fort Vice Commander, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei drops the guy in the face, well, mostly drops him down to the ground. The guy thought he was free, until Issei pulls out a knife and says, for your disgusting crimes, I'd rather let you die than ever be, well, mostly be alive. So bye, sucker. Issei right now stabs this guy in the neck and of course takes out his blade. And this is where Issei puts the knife back away into his pocket. But yeah, the guy was kind of, well, it wasn't a knife. It was actually just a little vase that was green. And this is where Issei kind of got it from the motorcycle. It was actually poison that was labeled. And this is where Issei drops into this guy's mouth. Issei then puts the vase back into mostly his pocket. And this is where Issei walks away. The guy kind of gets up, the bigger looking guy, and saying, "Ha! I'm going to kill you. I don't know who exactly you are." Issei turns around and says, "Who am I? You can call me the Dark Crimson Red Dragon. And you're already dead." The guy says, "What are you?" This is where he grabs his neck, and this is where he feels like he can't breathe. He falls over and dies. Issei then opens the entrance, and of course, this is where he's walking out. This is where, well, he sees what's it called, mostly a cafe. He sees Shin and the others kind of waiting there. Mostly, what's it called, a soccer player just saying, what exactly happened? His face is all fucked up. This is where, well, Shin says, "We're just waiting for mostly Issei." The girls kind of nodded. This is where Issei says, "What are you guys even doing here? Actually, wasn't it a better idea to call the hospital? Or mostly the ambulance or whatever?" This is where, well, mostly they're surprised to see Issei. He's roughed up a little bit, but he's not hurt as much as them. This is where, well, Issei said, "Still, it's a stupid idea for you fuckers to stay here any longer, being in fucking gangster territory. Ambulance wouldn't care that much, even the cops wouldn't care that much being here. So yeah, so I suggest you call the cops or mostly ambulance, unless you guys want to still stay in mostly this territory." Now, this gangster territory is still Valhalla's territory. If you move right, mostly right down over there, it will kind of be another territory, but I guess there would be less brutal than what's it called, this territory. Issei said, just kind of suggesting them to get the fuck out of Valhalla. This is where, well, mostly they kind of nodded until mostly Shin kind of turns back around and right now bows down and says, "Thank you." This is where, well, Issei says, "Don't thank me, asshole. I was literally just here on mostly, how should I say, I wasn't here to save you. I was just here in basically your best luck of time or worst luck of time, because you got saved by the nicest person in school." This is where, well, mostly Shin is refusing to believe Issei is the nicest person, because literally Issei right now has a dead look in his eyes, and of course Issei doesn't seem to care that much about the thanks or any of that. This is where, well, Shin says, "Thank you still. I don't really care in what you have to do here in Shibai City, but it seems that you're quite amazing, I guess." This is where, well, the guy had a little tint of blush, and this is where he says, "Don't blush, don't be gay, fuck off. I am not gay, I'm not swing that way." Issei said, this is where Issei started walking away. Issei kind of went into an alleyway, kind of got his motorcycle, got his helmet, and this is where he just drives off. This is where he just drives off, but yeah, into the night. This is where, well, mostly Shin kind of notices kind of friend, mostly his best friend, and of course his like girlfriend, and they saw how Issei literally just drive into a motorcycle and just drive off. But yeah, this is where Shin says, "Such a badass hero, I can say." This is where, well, mostly his friend says, "I wouldn't say even badass hero, I would have just said, God damn, this man. Are you sure that we're talking about the same Issei, or seeing the same Issei? I feel like I'm just really hurt from my friend's punches, so I can't tell, Shin." This is where, well, Shin says, "Nah, it's definitely Issei. His eyes were a little bit much more dead and colder, but it's definitely Issei." This is where, well, his friend says, "Okay, whatever, man." This is where, well, his girlfriend kind of hugs mostly Shin and says, "I don't really care who exactly is. I'm just glad we're safe." This is where, well, Shin and of course they just kind of get off of Valhalla and get to another territory. The territory just sees what they call these people walk into it. Of course, won't attack them because, well, they don't really attack civilians. They already see how badly hurt they are. They just don't care. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly they are trying to get back towards mostly the school. But yeah, but for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for kind of part one of, well, not part one, part two of this one. I'm sorry about saying part one, but part two. But other than that, have a nice day, you chuckle fucks. But other than that, also, don't get hit by a car, don't crash, And also, pay attention to the fucking road. Please, for the love of God, or please, for the love of lightning God, me. No, just kidding. But for real, guys, if you're going to drive, be safe. Don't be an idiot. I almost died, literally, about someone just driving really fucking fast, not doing the stop sign, and just almost hitting me. But luckily, yeah. And if you do hit someone, don't be a fucking asshole and literally kind of just say that it was their fault when clearly it kind of looks to be your fault. But whatever. But other than that, I'll be going. See you guys, and yeah, bye.